Between the hedges, Georgia dogs coming out. War Eagle flying over Jordan hair skies. Hotty toddy down in Oxford, rebels rise. Cowbells ringing in Starkville all night. Rocky Top singing in that Leland light. Anchor down Vandy, black and gold pride. Gamecocks crowing in Columbia loud and wide. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk, we talk that score. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk, we talk that score. Gators in the swamp, trumping all day long. Saturday nights in Death Valley, that tiger strong. So we Razorbacks, crowd calling the hogs. Blue Ridge battle Wildcats, bringing the dogs. Show me Miss Zoe, black and gold fight. Boomer Sooner running on a Saturday night. Hook 'em horns, burnt orange in the sun. 12th man standing, Aggies get it done. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk, we talk that score. Saturday light, y'all know the deal. SC pride, we keep it real from the swamp to the grove. Let that crowd roll. It's water cooler talk, we talk that score.
Welcome to this presentation of Water Cooler Talk Sports. Yes.
What it is, what it can be, what it should be, ladies and gentlemen. It is your guy, Nick Frazier, man. We appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here around the water cooler, man. Thank y'all so much, man, for rocking with us as always. My name is Nick Frazier. We'll have Water Cooler Talk Sports. The man, you can see him and you can hear him. Tell him who you are, boss man.
It's your boy Marcus Fitzpatrick. Let's go. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all tonight and rocking with us around the water cooler, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, ladies and gentlemen. From Tight Sports and Alabama Football Megacast, ladies and gentlemen, it is the one and only Tight. What's up, Tight? How you feeling, man?
Hey, man. Boy, I've been working hard over here. Working hard, man. I've been trying to check out, man. What region were y'all in the tournament? We doing good. We coming from Tampa, headed to what region did y'all go to?
This guy right here, bro. He trying to be funny. That's what he trying to be. He trying to be funny.
I only watched the Alabama games. What did y'all play at?
This man trying to be funny, man. We were trying to start off on a good term, but we want to come in and be funny, man. Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome in your favorite insider, our favorite insider, everyone's favorite insider. It is Ant the Insider. Ant, what's going on, man?
My boy Ant in the building.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Ant, are you good?
God,
are you good, Ant? Are you good?
I might be.
Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, man. Well, let's. He sounded good. He sounded good from right there. So it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it before we get this thing rocking and rolling. Do me a favor, man. Before we make this thing happen, man, go subscribe to these YouTube channels. Subscribe to our guy Tiz at It's SC Season, man. Subscribe to our guy Tight Sports and Alabama Football Megacast, man, over there on these YouTube streets, man. Of course, go to our guy DC Wolf at Auburn _addicts. TV on YouTube. I got Dustin over at the Up Tempo Podcast, man. Of course, I got B Sharp over at Sharpshooter Sports Talk. Vandy Chris over at the Go to Broom Podcast and the Anchor Down Live Podcast on Facebook. At the Huggy Beard himself, on YouTube and on Twitter. Of course, I got Edward Kid Country, man. Make sure you go check him out over there as well. And of course, the legend himself, Bubba and the old man, Auburn Sports Talk, man. Also, do me a favor, go subscribe to JMHO Sports Talk. What I got, Coach Sean on the Block Sports with Coach Carl, and of course, I got Dylan over at the College Loop, man. Do me a favor, man. Support the people that support Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. Shout out to I got DJ, day one supporter of Water Cooler Talk Sports, man. You can follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. That's Holly with the DY. And of course, follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's, man. Shout out to our guy. That's my quarterback. Make sure y'all go over there and support him, man, and rock out with him, man. We appreciate you, man. Also, shout out to our guy, Chef Country, Adelines by Chef Country, man, is where we do it right. 2371 Highway 14, Otaugaville, Alabama, man. We will be there October 17th, 2026 for the Auburn versus Georgia game. We will be live from Adelines by Chef Country, man. So come out, have a great time with us. Come enjoy. Come have a great time as we sit down and watch football, man. Adelines by Chef Country, 2371 Highway 14 in Otaugaville, Alabama. Guess what? You don't even have you can go before we come. You can go before we get done. Take your family there on a day trip, man. If you want to go out there and have some good food, take your family out there on a day trip, man.
That's for the real.
Chef Country, man. We appreciate it so much. Do us a favor, man. Go follow us on our social medias. Follow us on Twitter at CoolestPod23 on Twitter. Make sure you go over there and do that. We're trying to grow our social media following as much as we possibly can. Also, man, go subscribe to go follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Water Cooler Talk as well, man. Of course, on Facebook at the Water Cooler Talk Podcast, man. And do me this favor. Just do me this one favor. We have kind of redesigned the website a little bit. Just do me this one solid favor. Just do me this one solid. Go to www.watercoolertalksports.com. I just want to show you the website. I just want to show it to you. That's all I want to do. I want to show you the website. There it is, right there. There it is. That is the website. Look at what you can do. You can just if one per day, if each one of you that will watch this show, each one of you that are watching right now, that's watching it on rewatch, if you would just go and look at the website one time per day and read one story, I'm telling you, it would change your life. This is the website, man. This is the website. A little bit of a redesign that we did there. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all can see us strolling up, man. We tried to make it a little bit more appeasing for you. Go check it out. Go check out the website, man. Go check it out. You get latest stories. You get the latest videos on here. You know what I'm saying? Even let me stroll back up right here. You can even go in here and see the schedule for the show. You can go see the schedule for the show with the latest episode that just dropped. So when this episode get done, guess what? You go on the website and you can watch the latest episode on the website.
If I can make a suggestion, maybe you could add the Warrior Go Beauty of the Week.
This is no. Not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it. We ain't doing that, man.
Try
so
to
I'm just telling you, man.
Elite.
I'm just telling you, man. Just go out and check out the website, man. Check it out. It's great. I think it's great. I think it's great content that we add to the Water Cooler Talk Sports Network.
Pretty work.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So we appreciate y'all so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler as always, because this is Around the Water Cooler. That's the name of the show, Around the Water Cooler on Water Cooler Talk Sports Network. And last one, man, if you want to support the channel financially, man, it's $5.99 a month. Come in, be a member. And of course, you support the channel, man. We appreciate y'all so much for that, man. Also, if you want to help, if you want to support the show with super chats, we would love to do that as well. Super chat us, man. We appreciate that so much, man. Every dollar that's given, man, we'll put it back into the show, man. Fellas, how y'all feeling tonight, man? Y'all doing all right?
Feeling good.
Feeling good, man. Feeling good.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Let's take a look and see who in the chat with us, man, before we get into this conversation, because I honestly feel that this is going to be a really good episode. It's not your normal episode where we kind of just sit down and talk about Auburn or any other team in the SEC, but this is kind of talking about the SEC as a whole. We're going to talk about money tonight. That's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about money tonight, and we got some graphics that we want to show, and we want to do this, and we want to do that, and we want to try to put it in perspective of what it is. But we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk a little money tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, at the Huggy Beard himself, the legend of Sweet Sugar Bear Williams, the Rooster Mac, is in the chat. What's up, my guy? How you feeling, man? Appreciate you so much. Auburn Dad for life. AD4L is rocking with us in the chat. What's up, Auburn Dad? Tim, the tour man Taylor is rocking with us. What's up, Tim, man? How you feeling, man, with the Dave Chappelle? Hey, Tim, I'm just curious to know which avatar you gonna use next. We done seen the Delroy Lindo. We done seen the other Dave Chappelle.
You gonna have to
Big.
for that bankroll, man.
We need to know which avatar you gonna use next.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
Tell you,
Oh, my
man, it
bad.
is great, man. King Richard here. What's up, my guy? His Royal Highness King Richard. What's up, man? Appreciate you so much, man, for rocking with us here around the water cooler. There he is, man. Fellas, War Eagle. It is Mike McKinney in the chat. What's up, Mike?
What
How
up,
you feeling?
Mike?
My
Mike.
guy Wade rocking
Wade,
with us
you
in the
say
chat.
Wade.
What's up, Wade? You say by the
Oh, wait.
doing good, man. Hope you're feeling great, man. Tim, the tool man Taylor, he said, man, seriously, I read a couple of those articles. And I put Nick up against anyone on the Auburn beat for writing skills. You know, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much,
Elite.
man. I really do appreciate
Elite,
that.
baby.
Right.
Elite, man. Elite. That's what we are. That's what we got to be. We got to be elite around here. We got to be elite around here. That's what it is, man. It helps. That's what it is, man. Man, do you know how hard it is to teach a right-handed batter to slap it left-handed? Ooh, so you trying to teach? Are you trying to teach KK how to hit left-handed? Okay, interesting. All right,
Wow.
D-Lev, what's up, D-Lev? What's up, my guy? How you
So,
feeling?
man, if I could, I got some experience with that. Try the shot collar.
Oh my, no, don't try the shot collar. It feel like tight. It try to get you to shock your child to get it right. No,
I'm talking about
tight.
elite, right? We want to be elite though.
No,
Okay.
no, we're not doing that. That is
That's
no.
child of measurement.
Slowed up Durkin in the chat. What's up, man? Fail for it again award.
Trust me, he won't tell no.
Shout out to Slowed Up, man. We rocking with you, man. We appreciate you so much, man. King Richard, man. What's up? The elite is what we are, man. All right, let's get into it, man. Man, we appreciate y'all so much, man. Let's go ahead and get into the conversation, man. As you can tell from the title, college football is becoming the MLB, and SEC teams like Auburn are the small market losers. Are they the small market losers? Ladies and gentlemen, this came from a quote that one Eli Drinkwitz, head coach of Missouri, put out there. And when I read it, I said, wow, this is something else. Let's put the quote up on the screen. Let's put the graphic up there and let's look at it together, man. This is what he said, man. Eli Drinkwitz. If you're gonna have teams with $45 million rosters competing against $15 million and $20 million rosters, you're going to run the risk of turning into Major League Baseball, where you have the LA Dodgers and the Florida Marlins. I don't know. The Florida Marlins, bro.
I thought it was the Miami Marlins.
I don't know.
Florida.
It's Florida now, I think.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Florida now. So the Florida Marlins, that's what it is. So basically, he's saying there is this wide gap in college sports and college spending. And we're gonna look at some of these numbers in a few minutes to kind of see if what he is saying has some validity to it. That's what we're gonna do around the water cooler. We do that around the water cooler. We want to look at stats and graphs, and then once we look at it, we want to come to a conclusion ourselves of if what Eli Drinkwitz is saying has some validity to it. Even if it is kind of off base a little bit, even if it's not all the way there, is there some validity to it? I want to ask you guys first. I'm gonna start with Tyke since we ain't heard from Tyke in a while. Tyke, what's your thoughts on this, man?
I think Eli Drinkwitz is he's kind of missing the point. The Florida Marlins versus like now the LA Dodgers is not a good comparison. I think about the Braves. Now the Braves only turned it into one championship, but for 13 years they won. Then they won their pennant, their division. And they were not the biggest spenders of everybody in baseball. So at some point, somebody got to coach somebody to do something. They went with a different tack. You know, they had that bullpen. They had old Rocker come out there to rock folks upside their head. They got a line, and they had a hell of a pitching staff that they put money into. But I see where he's coming from, but I just think you're talking about extreme. So, you know, you're talking about 10 years ago, I don't know, Alabama, Ohio State, they had money, but somebody else didn't have no money. I mean, what kind of money did Wake Forest have 10 years ago before NIL? They didn't have no money to spend on football, so it's always been somebody that had an upper hand. But somebody got a coach. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got a TCU. They picked their head up there. Cincinnati got their head out there. I ran a list today, 2 lists. Okay. Who had the most experience? And they couldn't find out who had the most snaps, but it was like who had the most return in production. Then I looked at who was supposed to be the biggest spenders. Couldn't find an actual number. Yeah. Indiana was not on the top 20 of either one of those lists.
I wouldn't be surprised. If they weren't.
Somebody had to coach them.
And Indiana more than likely would probably be one of the teams in the playoffs this year.
Right.
We had to guess. Marcus, what's your thoughts on that?
I agree with Tight 100%. I was going to say the same thing. I would have cared about the comment if Indiana just didn't win the national championship.
Right.
It would have hit a whole lot harder if a team that didn't just spend a whole bunch on their roster would have won the national championship. It sounded like an excuse. Like Tight said, going back to when Alabama used to be able to pay players, allegedly, when people wasn't
got
supposed
the same bag, man, that y'all use for Cam. That's all.
This man is hilarious, bro. Come on, man.
I can go all night. This
man is hilarious.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Cam one player. What about the long? We ain't gonna do that Tight, but you know,
he's a goat. Y'all underpaid, you ask me.
All I would say is going back to, even like Tight said, back to the past, it's always been a team that had more than others. So even now, like going to having a better roster or a more expensive roster, you got to go out there and you got to coach that roster. You still got to go out there and put that your strategy on the field with the other team and see if the best man wins. So at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and coach. I just feel like that's an excuse.
Tez popped in at the right moment because I was just about to quote something that he has said after you said Marcus, you just said you felt like it was an excuse because of the fact that you just saw Indiana win the national championship. Tez, when this happened, we had a debate after the game, right after the game happened, about whether this was a one-off thing or do we look at the teams that have the talent. And when you look at the teams that have the talent, most of the time, money aligns with that. Is Indiana just the anomaly in this situation, or is this a new trend? When we had this conversation, I'm gonna put the quote back up so Tez can see it, so he can so he can make a thoughtful guess around it.
What's happening?
Things of that nature. But I'm gonna go to Ant first. But I'm gonna put the quote back up. This is the quote from Eli Drinkwitz. He said, "If you're going to have teams with $45 million rosters competing against $15 million and $20 million rosters, you're going to run the risk of turning into Major League Baseball, where you have the LA Dodgers and then the Florida Marlins." That's what he said. I'm gonna go to Ant first. I'm gonna let Tez digest that. Ant, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I agree with him to a certain extent about it. I mean, look at Texas A&M, for example, with Jumbo. They had a $90 million roster. I mean, granted, Jimbo couldn't coach it, but think about if they had a coach with that $90 million roster.
Shout out to the God, Jimbo.
Man, y'all, this is hilarious. This is good.
I'm trying to prove that Jimbo is my real daddy.
That's wild. That's wild, man.
Oh,
Big Sar said that's a true statement.
It's a true statement.
It's not a lie.
It's a true statement that the rosters will be stacked. That's honest. That's honesty. The big schools, and Tez alluded to it a long time ago when we talked about NIL. The name brand schools, the deep pocket schools, will be able to keep stacking rosters year in and year out.
But like when Mississippi State was playing back in the 80s, man, I mean, they were under the gun back then in Starkville. You know, it's a dusty town with a bunch of it's a trucking town, so to pass through, really. Starkville just struggles financially, and they always have, probably always will, no matter how much money you put down there, because Grisham gonna take all his money and go down to Oxford and make sure they have some money down there. Although he went to both schools.
That's wild. Ted, your thoughts, man. I want to get your thought process on that. What you think? What you think about what when Eli Drinkwitz, head coach of Missouri, said there?
Oh man, I was excited about this topic because I thought it was a very interesting one. To compare it to Major League Baseball, in terms of, because Major League Baseball is it is the sport where money comes into play, probably more so than any other sport. And I kind of went back and forth about this, but what I settled on is like baseball is a completely different sport from football.
True.
It is a completely different sport. Financially, if you can invest your money into pitching, that goes a long ways.
Long way.
Long ways. And also what I thought about was the parity in college football that you see now is probably because of the rosters, rather than in spite of the rosters. Because of the money, rather than in spite of the money. I think back about a time in college football where everybody couldn't play players, right? There was only a few teams that were actually able to do it, whether it was legally or illegally, however you want to. Well, I didn't want to say it, but there was it was only a few schools that could play players, whether legally or illegally. And those schools, made up the bulk of what you saw in championships when it came to stacking rosters. So if right now, if I had to look at that statement and make a judgment based on what I've thought about, what I've read, man, I would say I think I'm probably the opposite. I think my opinion is probably the opposite of what Eli Drinkwitz is saying. Because I think, like, for example, I'm gonna take his own team. I'm gonna take Eli Drinkwitz's own team. Missouri has a better opportunity to win a national championship right now than they did pre-NIL.
Right.
Right.
That's true.
I just think so, because they're able to get talent that they weren't privy to. And that's it. There's no other reason that they're able to get talent that usually they weren't privy to.
And keep them in state.
Yeah, and keep them in state. Pre-NIL is where you saw more stacked rosters, right? And what I mean by that, now, of course, you can stack a roster now. You look at LSU with what they have. You brought up Texas A&M and what they were able to do with draft classes and things of that sort. But the level of stacking rosters pre-NIL of the teams that did it was far beyond what you see from a stacked roster right now. We're talking about rosters pre-NIL stacked to the point of 3, 4, 5 years of players on one roster to ensure 3, 4, 5 years of success. Right now, when you see stacked rosters with the money that they're spending, you only probably see like 1 to 2 deep. You see a lot of players that are juniors, seniors that are on their way out, and then you have to spend that money again to bring those players back in. And to your point, yeah, I asked the question: was Indiana like the anomaly, or was Indiana the norm? Of course, people are going to try to replicate that, but in football specifically, because it's such a strategic game, you have to have coaching. Coaching has to matter in this equation, more so than in Major League Baseball, because I think just straight off the face, I think that Major League Baseball, if you can spend a ton of money in your pitching room, it doesn't really matter about a lot of the coaching standpoint.
Well, that's why they call them managers, because they manage the roster and the bullpen, but it is a pitching thing. If you got no money, you got to spend it on pitching.
For sure. Yeah, man, pitching rotations is critical in baseball. If you're able to stack an entire pitching room to the point where your bullpen is filled with talent that would be starting on other rosters, you're going to be a pretty tough team to beat.
And that's why I said earlier, Ted, before you came in, I talked about the Braves winning those 13 pennants. and not spending as much money as the Yankees did. They just didn't. But they had a pretty good run. They got a World Series out of it, but they spent it all in the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And listen, I don't disagree with what Drinkwitz is saying. I understand the premise of what he's saying, but I think I don't know if he meant it just like super literally, because baseball is a completely different sport from football, like completely different. I don't think there's a position on the football field that you can just dump a bunch of money in, and then that one position gives you the advantage of just being head and shoulders above everybody, right? Because a lot of the positions, maybe offensive line. I'll tell you that, maybe offensive line. If you can get a bunch of high caliber offensive linemen, then maybe you can make a run at this thing. But
Trust me, somebody got to coach them.
Yeah, right. But pitching, but in baseball, the pitching rotation is, you got to think about baseball. Baseball is, the play starts with the pitcher. Right. It isn't a play that we just run it. This is like, he decides when this play goes, right? He decides the tempo of the game and all of that. And they all get a game, right? So if football was played in a way where a quarterback had to start one game and then the next game another quarterback had to start, he'd be spot on, but that's just not the case. So I get what he was saying, but I just think that we're talking about two completely different sports. We're talking about completely different sports, and it doesn't help that like you said, a $40 million roster versus a $15 million roster. It doesn't help that $18 million roster won the national championship and made everybody look bad in the process. Right. We talk about the benefits of NIL, and we talk about how Indiana capitalized on the transfer portal and NIL. That's very, very true. But they didn't spend a ton of money to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This wasn't one of the most highest paid rosters in the country when they did this.
It's like coaching. It plays such a big part. I mean, that's a great example of it, because I know, like, USC's been spending money for the last couple of years, and it hadn't really worked out very well for them. Texas Tech has been in the playoff 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
So will they go over the top, or will somebody? I mean, I don't know who's all spending what, but Utah just got a big influx of cash. Maybe they come in and win that championship because they got a $500 million investment from a private equity firm. So it's just getting crazy. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm getting sick and tired of coaches, Dabo and whoever. Now, Dabo gonna have these whole doggone press conferences whining about everything, and the rules need to change. I'm like, man, why don't you 76? You don't even matter. You don't even matter. You ain't no. We can change the rules tomorrow, and you 76, cuz 76.
I look at it from a market share standpoint. Like, if you think about pre-NIL market share versus post-NIL market share, sorry, Tyke, but I got to use Alabama as an example. Pre-NIL, Alabama dominated the market share in the state of Alabama. They were able to stack their rosters to the point where there was no other schools in the area that could get these players, right? They were gray shirting players that would have started on other SEC teams.
Right.
That's not necessarily the case right now, post NIL. At least not yet. I haven't seen anybody dominate it to that point. Now, to Drinkwitz' point, can that happen? Right? I don't know. I think it would take more than $45 million to accomplish something like that. But
USC is trying.
but from a market share standpoint,
one more minute,
if
fellas,
the players
gotta move.
Okay, from a market share standpoint, if the players are the commodity, you don't see that anymore. You don't see teams paying players so other teams can't get them. For that reason, they're paying players so that they can make their teams better and win. championships. Pre-NIL, teams were signing players, specifically Alabama, so that other teams wouldn't get them.
Well,
You know what I
I
mean?
remember when before Texas won their championship with Vince.
30 seconds.
Oh, they were doing the same thing down in Texas. They were keeping players, but I really thought that Vince put them over the top because the guy wasn't that good of a coach. Mac, whatever it is, he wasn't that great of a coach for them. They had a lot of good players at Texas, but Vince Young put them over the top.
All right, so let's look at some of these comments real quick before we move on to look at some of these numbers that y'all speaking about. King Richie said, I look at it like this. Everyone thought Kentucky basketball would run the roost with getting all of the one and dones, but Calipari only won one championship with them. That's very true. It's very true. You got a point, but I'm gonna dispute that in a minute. Mike McKinney said, no way, bro. The Yankees had $1 billion roster and ain't won a World Series in forever. It's very true
too. It's true too.
I'm gonna dispute it in a minute.
They changed their cap a little bit. They got that luxury thing.
Baseball's a hard sport.
Look at that luxury thing now anyway. So
yeah, Big Sarge said this applies to the mindset of a player and the family/agents around the said player. Those who chase the bag more than getting better makes the difference. I understand that. Shout out to Mario Cannon in the chat. He said, man, Missouri also has a better ability now to retain good players because of NIL, and having Drink as head coach doesn't hurt. I understand where you're coming from. This is where I think you all are kind of missing the point. Big Sarge came in here, basically said what I was getting ready to say. Drinkwitz was talking about the haves versus the have-nots, is what he was talking about.
So he wasn't referring to Missouri.
No, he was not talking. He's referring to the fact of if teams have the ability to continue to stack rosters and spend money and keep up with inflation, those teams are going to be the ones that's going to continually be in the conversation for playoffs. Those are the teams that like the way you said, Tez. You said you believe at one point in time that now instead of winning national championships, head coaches are going to be judged by how many times they got to the playoffs.
Very true.
Or how many times they got there. That is what he's saying. He's saying teams that have the financial resources to be able to be in that conversation every year are going to be the teams that there's going to be a gap in conferences, which is what I totally agree with that statement. And while we do that, let's take a look at some numbers while we do that. Let's take a look at this chart. So this first chart we're gonna look at SEC football roster spending. This is SEC football roster spending for the 2025 season. So the season that just ended. Now, like I said, these are estimates. These are not finite numbers because you can't get those numbers. You can get estimates though, and these estimates are pretty close. Things stuff like that because collectives are technically private companies that you really can't get into. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at football, SEC football roster spending. What you are about to see is the top 10 teams that spent the most on their rosters this past season.
You're about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
This is what it looks like. These are your teams that spent. These are estimates, by the way. And these estimates are stats that are compiled from On3. They are compiled from Sportscasting, SEC, CBS Sports, and SEC Rant. These numbers are compiled by that. This is NIL Collective, from what you can get from NIL Collective, plus revenue sharing estimates is what it is. Exact figures are not publicly disclosed. So as you can see, the top 10 teams in the SEC that spent the most on their roster by estimates, Texas was number one.
Okay.
They spent somewhere between 28 million and 35 million to win 9 games and not make the playoffs. Texas A&M. Number 2, spent between 20 and 25 million on the roster, made the playoffs but lost in the first round. LSU fired a coach midway through the season when they had a winning record. They spent $20 million on the roster. Georgia spent 18 million estimate to get put out for Kirby Smart to get put out again for 2 years straight in his first game in the playoffs, which would have been the quarterfinal round. Alabama spent roughly 16 million on their roster, They won. They made the playoffs. They beat Oklahoma on the road, but lost to the eventual national champion Indiana. Tennessee,
moonshine
a
money,
$15 million roster. You look at Tennessee. You look at Tennessee, and you look at some of the games that they could have won. They could have beaten Georgia early in the season. It probably would have been a 9-win team. They could have beaten Oklahoma at home. It could have been a 10-win team and a team that could have been in the playoff conversation. You look at this. Oklahoma spent $14 million on their roster. Lost in the first round of the playoffs to Alabama. Florida fired their coach midway through the season. Ole Miss spent the least out of the top 10 and still made the playoffs and went further than any team.
Anybody else?
And you sitting here looking at Auburn. Auburn spent just under $12 million on their roster and only won 5 games.
Okay.
Now that you see the numbers of what the top 10 SEC football roster spending numbers are, estimates. These are estimates. I want people to remember these are estimates.
Okay.
Now that you see this, what is your rebuttal or your response to this type?
Coaching.
Okay.
Yeah, I just gonna say that coaching.
It's the coaching, because I mean that Texas thing is ridiculous. I think now Elko, this was his second year, right? So he may be coming along, but they did kind of fall apart at the end. But man, that coaching. But one thing I want to throw in here, Nick, I don't know if you know about this. I meant to send this to you earlier. Shout out to Piper Hutchinson at the Louisiana Illuminator, and Chris Nakamoto at the WFB TV, and Todd Horn at Tiger Rag, LSU guy, People Press. They are suing the Louisiana State University Athletics, and their purpose is to force full disclosure of financial records regarding direct payments to student athletes.
Hey, where's it coming from? It's coming from the Louisiana state government. It's probably what they're doing it for.
Yeah, they're doing it for the government. They're saying it through the privacy is the reason they can't turn that over. So the case is going forward. But I do think it's coaching, going back to your original question.
Okay. Marcus.
Coaching sticks out.
I agree with Tight. When you got teams like Ole Miss at the bottom of the SEC in spending, and they made it just as far as further than the top dogs, it goes back to coaching.
That dude just walked away.
And like you can monopolize all the talent you want. If they, like Big Sar said, if they ain't got the heart and the will to play, it shows that good players are making winning teams versus the stars. I think you alluded to it before, Nick. Stars are just stars at this point, and people are paying for stars.
Sure are.
But here's the thing, though. Let's look at this chart again. Let's look at this chart one more time. If you're looking at this chart, right? Based on what Drinkwitz said in his comment, right? Texas, Texas A&M, Georgia, Alabama.
Okay.
3 of those 4 teams made the playoff, and and every year when we sit down, preseason, whatever it is, majority of the time, those 4 teams are going to be teams that you're going to sit back and be like, okay, these are teams that we can potentially have that will potentially be in playoff conversation. You didn't say that about Florida. You didn't say that about Ole Miss. I don't think many people say that about Oklahoma. I think a lot of people look at Oklahoma as a team that was kind of like on the edge of like, could they make it or could they not? But when you go back and look at what Drinkwitz said, I want to just put Drinkwitz's quote back up again. This is Drinkwitz's quote. He said, if you're going to have teams with $45 million rosters competing against $15 million and $20 million rosters, you are going to run the risk of turning into Major League Baseball, where you have the LA Dodgers and the Florida Marlins.
Call on me.
You look at this. I'm not sitting here saying that you're going to have teams that's going to win championships every single year, but they are going to be in the conversation of winning championships every single year. And that's what you see at the top 5 on this list. Out of the top 5, 3 of them made the college football playoff, and one of them, which is the one that spent the most, Texas, was in the college football playoffs year before this past season. Go ahead, Texas.
Right. Call on me. Oh, okay. I love this, right? I love this chart. Can we put it back up?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I love this chart. By the way, let's what this is what I think about, right? So we're talking about pre NIL versus post NIL, right?
Right.
If Eli Drinkwitz is correct in this statement, the only way that I think that he's correct is that he's looking in the future and not enough time has passed. Here's why I say that. Of these teams that's listed on here, there's only 2 of them that pre-NIL that weren't perennially in the national championship discussion.
Thank you.
Okay,
Which two? Hold on. I'm gonna go down the list. You look at Texas. Texas is every single year has been in the national championship discussion because it's Texas. Texas A&M, not so much. So that's one.
Yeah.
LSU had a championship run pre-NIL and championships pre-NIL. So did Georgia, right? So did Alabama. Tennessee has a national championship run pre-NIL. Oklahoma has been in the national championship conversation pre-NIL.
Yep.
Florida has had a national championship run and been in the conversation pre-NIL. Ole Miss, we know they haven't. Auburn has a national championship pre-NIL. So the same teams
for others.
The same teams that are spending the most money in the SEC per this chart are pretty much the exact same teams that pre-NIL have been in the national championship culture. Listen,
so is Drink correct then? So Drink was just right. So is he correct? The teams that are spending the most, they are continually in the conversation of being in the conversation of winning championships, and the teams that are not doing it, who are not in that conversation, he's kind of correct per this chart, but I have to ask that, like, why are you saying this then, Drinkwitz? Because these are the exact same teams that it's been all the time. But that's what I'm saying.
If you had Vanderbilt up here at number 6 and they were on the outside of the playoffs, then his statement will hold more weight.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I just want to interject this part right here first before you finish your thought. When we talk about the transfer portal and NIL together and how we've used the word parity in college football, this chart tells us that there is no parity. If we're just looking solely based on the numbers, right? And I'm arguing this thing from the perspective of somebody that listening to what you all are saying, and it's like, okay, I get what y'all saying, but even with these teams still spending this amount of money, if NIL and the transfer portal are supposed to be the equalizer of all teams, then why are the same teams that were perennially in the conversation still in the conversation now? Because
because if you did this chart pre-NIL and you did this chart based on illegal funding of players, it probably looked the exact same. Really close.
I got a
really close to this.
I got a response to that too.
Look, Big Sarge's comment kind of says it. I disagree with the coaching piece.
I was about to put it up.
Yeah, it's a culture piece. Like, these are the teams that honestly probably really care about winning national championships the most.
Correct.
So are you saying South Carolina does not care about winning national championships?
I would say
not as much as these guys.
I would say
pick me.
Not as much as these dudes do. They probably do, but not as much as a Texas, not as much as a Alabama, not as much as a Georgia, not as much as a LSU. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you take that entire list and you were to go pre-NIL and you look at what they were spending on players, if you would just add the illegal money in there, that list would look probably exactly the same outside of Texas A&M. Yeah, Alabama probably be number 1, but still, like, it's just I want to see this list. Show me this list. Show me this list in 10 more years, right? I don't think enough time has passed for him to make that assessment just yet, right?
And I want to add this too, man. When you think about the group of 5, which I always advocate for, man, I'm getting to thinking about it, man. You know why those conferences can't catch up? Because they do reparations. I'm just gonna leave it like that.
That's funny. Go ahead, Ant. Go ahead. I know Ant want to get a hand and say something. Go ahead.
Reparations,
man.
all the punishment taken for 80 years, man. Southern Miss been taking beatings from the SEC for centuries.
This man is hilarious. Go ahead, Ant.
See the thing I look at on that chart, I go a step farther. All those 10 teams are gonna be talked about in the playoffs as a playoff contender. Why you leave Missouri out, and Missouri might have a better record than all of them. You get what I'm saying? So coaching has nothing to do with what Eli's saying, because he can coach a $10 million Missouri team to be 10-2. But guess what though? He could be 10 right, but he could be 10-2 with comfortable talent. They spent 12 to 15 million, and they'll still be out the playoffs.
When did NIL start? What's the year?
NIL started in 2021.
2021. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, 2021. If you would have, like, it's kind of like Ant saying, it's like Missouri has done better in that time span than a lot of teams on that list.
Right.
Are they? Because there was a point in time where I would say, okay, so if you say in 2021, this is 2026. All right.
Okay.
Well, 2025.
I say
so
2020.
There's a 5-year span, right?
Let's go from the 2021 season to the 2020 to this past 2025 season.
Right.
2023, Missouri won 11 games. 2024, Missouri won 11 games. 2025. No. I'm bad. 2023, Missouri won 11 games. 2024, they won 10. This past season, they won 8 or 9, whatever it was. Before that, they were a 5-win team. They were 6-win team. They were 5-win team. Right. What was the difference? So to the point of what was the difference?
They've hopped Auburn.
Probably Kirby Moore that they hired as offensive coordinator, and he took most of that off his plate. But
those 2 seasons hop Auburn already, right? They already, in terms of success, they hop Auburn on that list.
But guess what?
Okay. Just right up top of my head.
It still proved what I was saying. They didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
Well, at the time, let's be real about this.
Yeah,
at the time when they won, at the time they won 11 games. If that was a 12-team playoff, Missouri would have been in the playoffs.
Right.
They would have been in the playoffs then. They would not have kept an 11-win SEC team out of the playoffs. They would have been in at that point in time. But we got another chart that we're gonna look at because I think this chart is even more interesting. But I want to take a look at some of these comments. Shout out to our guy Jason over at Hall of Fame Sports. What's up, my guy? How you feeling, man? Appreciate you so much for rocking with us around the water cooler, man. As always, Big Sarge. He said, man, I disagree with the coaching piece. That's the sole reason. It's a blend of terrible culture that's being fueled by both the players and the coaches of said team.
That's a great comment.
I like that.
That is spot on.
That is true. That is true. Hall of Fame, man. Jason said, man, whiny dude. He said Drake needs to shut up. Missouri pays high school kids. Everybody's paying high school kids. You know what I'm saying? I got DWG73 said, War Eagle, man. Love the show, man. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you so much, man. I believe Crimson is in the chat. What's up? I believe he said getting paid the most are divas, not dogs. I like it. And Mike McKinney said he said facts, Tess. He agreed with what you said. That's facts. I like it, man. And Jason come back and said, man, they pay high school kids in Tampa worse than Ole Miss. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, then.
Ain't IMG in Tampa.
It's out south in Bradenton. Yeah,
it's in Bradenton, Florida. Mike, Missouri was on that list when I ranked them. I just did the top 10, but then when we put them in order, I think Missouri was like they went that far. I think it was like 12th. It's probably like 12th to 13th. They was like right there. So they was probably like that 10 million mark, 10, 11 million mark is where they were. It wasn't that much difference between 10 and like 13. So
I would love to see the Big Ten with Indiana. And
I know, right?
Yeah, that would be dope.
He said, Mike, no, this is a good one. Mike said another thing you have to look at is the brand of said team too.
Absolutely.
That's very true. It's very true. And Jason said, man, well, they're still mid, but it's because drink is mid. I like it, man.
I take it he doesn't like drink.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. All right, so when we talk about this spending of money, when we talk about the spending of money, and we talk about NIL and what programs, athletic departments, and when we even niche that down even more to just the football spending, we're gonna take a look at this chart, and this chart right here is going. What we're gonna look at is we're gonna look at SEC football program spending compared to what the SEC conference median spending was compared to what FBS median spending is. So that's what we're gonna look at.
All right.
We're gonna look at the teams in the SEC. Then when we look at the teams in the SEC, we're gonna look at them and see what they're compared to with the conference median, and then what is compared to an FBS spending median. What's the median spending of FBS? And I wanna see when y'all see these teams, does your mind change, or are you still going, or do you stay on the path of where you at? I'm just curious to know. Let's take a look at it, man. So this is the chart. This is it right here. So what you're looking at is you're looking at SEC football, just football spending. This is not athletic department spending. This is just football spending versus the median of the SEC conference and the median of the football of the other conferences of football as well, the football bowl division. And this is for the fiscal year 2023 to 2024. Okay. So when you look at this, I just want to go ahead and say that the FBS median for football only program spending was 32 million. The SEC median for football only spending was 56 million. Now you look here and you look at the top of this, list. Alabama is at the top of this list.
Sound about right.
88.2 million is where Alabama is. Next, Georgia, 72.1 million. Tennessee is 3 at 68.4 million. Texas is 4 at 65.8 million. LSU, 5, 63.9 million. Texas A&M, 6, 62.3 million. Florida, 7, 58 million. Auburn is just under the SEC median, but they're way past the FBS median, which is at 55.1 million. So they're $900,000 short of what the median is for the SEC. Oklahoma is 9th at 54.2 million, and then rounding out at 10 is Arkansas. Arkansas at $48.6 million in just football spending for that physical year. And when you look at it, it says that, and this is just a key insight. It said all 10 SEC programs spend above the FBS median. Alabama spent 2.7 times more than the FBS median. Tez, your thoughts on that?
Well, this is it looks surprising, but it's not. Like when you think about it, we're talking about one conference, right? I would, when we talk about one conference and what they're spending, and then if you were to take the Big Ten into account, I guess the point I'm trying to make, I don't know how to really formulate it, but there are way more FBS teams than this small number, right? Yeah. Than the 16 in the SEC and however many is in the Big Ten now. It seems like they just pick up anybody. But like when you think about it, I understand why the median is 32 million because, and I understand why it does that. It's so many other. Yeah, so that, I get that part of it. But again, these are the teams. Look at the list, man. Outside of you got Arkansas, which they probably tried to take an advantage of NIL and buy a championship and buy their way into a championship. But outside of that, man, you look Alabama pre-NIL, Georgia pre-NIL winning championships, Tennessee pre-NIL was winning championships. I mean, not in recent pre-NIL, but still championship team. Texas always been in the championship conversation. LSU championship conversation. Texas A&M not so much. Florida championship conversation traditionally. Auburn has a championship in the pre-NIL era in recency. Oklahoma always in the championship conversation. So, like, even when I look at these teams, man, I still see the same teams that spending the money on rosters are the same things, right? What's crazy is, like, I watched the team that didn't spend nearly as much on these rosters make these teams look bad. I watched the team that spent, I don't know what Indiana spent on their rosters, probably less than what Arkansas spent.
It's like 18, it's like 17, 18 million.
So 17, 18 million, play an Alabama team, and it wasn't even like what were we watching? You see
By
what
the
I'm
way,
saying?
by the way, 17, 18 million for Indiana would have put them on just SEC football roster spending for 2025. I think it's 17, 18 million. Somebody check me on that. I'm going off the top of my head on that. I'm trying to remember the numbers in my head. If that number is 17 to 18 million, that would put them. Well, let's give it a bigger range. Let's just say somewhere between 16 to 18. If they were 16 to 18 that they spent in a roster, that would put them between 6 and 4 in the SEC on just football roster spending.
Not bad.
Okay. I think what this chart is proving to me,
which would be which would be equivalent to Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee.
So I think what this chart is proving to me, man, more so than anything, is that it matters where you put your money. Like, football is such a nuanced sport. Is like, man, you have to get the right pieces in for the right system to make the right plays to win these championships and to be in these conversations. You can't just throw money at rosters and expect to win. Now, I always knew that, but like, seeing it on paper it's even more glaring to me. It's like, hey, yeah, you can spend $88 million on football. That's cool. But where are you putting that money at? Do you have the pieces, right? Do those pieces aid in you winning championships in your system? The one thing that we got to use Indiana because they are the perfect, you know what I mean? They're the perfect team. One, they won a national championship, but they're the perfect team to illustrate this. And we can use Vanderbilt too, because they weren't, even though they didn't make the playoffs, they were in the playoff conversation. But it matters, like, what are you bringing in, right? Are you bringing in high dollar players, or are you actually bringing in pieces that will help you beat other teams, right? Yeah, I would be interested to look at Vanderbilt's roster, Indiana's roster, and know, like, where exactly do they put the bulk of their funds, right? And what do those players look like, right? Because that's what I think these charts are illustrating, is like a lot of this is frivolous spending. It's just spending just to have great recruiting classes and narratives and things of that sort, right? Some of these players are great players. Some of these players are expensive players, but some of these players aren't impact players to the degree of helping you win a national championship. What I mean by that is the money that Indiana spent to bring in Fernando Mendoza is a lot more. That was a lot better spending of your money. You got more value from that than the money that Alabama spent to retain a Ryan Williams, if that makes sense.
True.
And Ryan Williams is probably bringing in more money than that. You understand what I'm saying? But he's and this is gonna sound like I'm crapping on the kid, but it's not. He is not moving the needle in terms of winning championships the way Fernando Mendoza moved the needle for Indiana in terms of winning championships, right? You have to put your money in places that fit your system, that actually move the needle for your team. I think what's happening is what you're seeing is a lot of these teams, and that's why when Drink said this about MLB, I was kind of off base with it because a lot of MLB spending is spent on pitching, right? Bulk of the money goes into pitching. Pitching directly helps you win football games. A lot of what you're seeing on this list is like when I would be interested to see where that money went in terms of players. If what I'm saying is making sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to go back one more year now that Ohio State won the championship as well in the 12-team playoffs, and they spent some real jack, if I'm not mistaken, to make their run. So
it's a great point.
And we still have the question: was Indiana? Is it? I mean, I think he can go back to the playoffs, but will he be as effective over the next 2 to 3, 4 years? So before we can say that, or will Ohio State just jump back in there, get another championship, then step back, then step up in 2 or 3 seasons, step back and forth? Because in this 12-team playoffs, what makes you a GOAT? 3 championships? Because you sure ain't getting 6. Not in 20 years. You may get 6 and 30, but 12-team playoffs is hard to make it through because you're talking about you're going to go through some of the best. And as far as Alabama spending $88 million.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
That I'm custom made.
I can't
help it that I look good, smell good, can dance all night long.
I'm just saying. Can't help it, man. It's $88 million. No. But they earned
Flair won that match though.
They earned that money over the previous years. You got jersey sales. Did that include coaching spending? Nick, do you know if that includes coaching or just players?
No, it's just football spending. Whatever football includes, whatever that includes is what it is.
So that's tackling dummies.
Helmet condoms. You got helmet condoms, all that kind of stuff.
Oh my God.
Y'all don't call it that? That's what it is.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I guess.
That is wild.
I never thought those the same type. Thanks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You can thank Coach JB. That's not me. I thought y'all called.
Oh no, I never heard that before.
Wild.
Yeah, that's a name for me, Tight.
That's wild.
He called him.
So maybe to your point though, Tight. You look at Ohio State. They brought in Caleb Downs.
Yeah,
paid him a pretty penny.
Yes, sir.
But then when you look at that roster, Caleb Downs was the piece that they needed. It wasn't just they weren't getting just a piece just because he was a good player. They needed a strong safety.
Right.
They went out and got the best one they could find that fit in their system. It happened to be Caleb Downs.
So they went out and got a bunch of pieces that they needed too, Tiz.
They got a couple of them.
They went and got a proven quarterback in Will Howard. Then they went and got Quinshon Jenkins, Quinshon from Ole Miss. They had
the receivers weren't free.
Right.
The receivers weren't free.
So what?
You gotta remember, Mecca Buku was on that team too.
Yeah.
Cool. So
great.
They paid money for their talent.
That's amazing. But
was it 45 million? Was it 40?
What did Alabama spend that $88 million on? Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
but Alabama, but to the point, Alabama was still a playoff team.
To get back into the playoffs, and maybe next year they have a chance. People may not agree. They have a chance to go same level or further. In the next season, because you got to get there before you can think about doing more. So
I get that, and that's probably why it's a bit different from MLB because. You're talking about a 7-game series, 7-game series on the way to a playoff versus a win or go home situation.
We should have not lost to Oklahoma.
So those are totally different things.
Yeah,
it is, man. Take a look at some of these comments real quick before we get up out of here, man. Mike McKinney said, "Ooh wee, it just means more." Yes, it does.
Yeah, man.
It does. Looking at those numbers, man.
Alabama is where legends are made, man. It ain't free,
man. That's what he said. He said, "Yikes, spend all that money just to go 4-8." Wow.
They spent money on that was
but the year before that they actually won 7 games. Then Arkansas won like 7 games the year before that and went to a bowl game because they came to Auburn and beat Auburn on the road. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
7 or 8.
Just think about the Sun Belt though, man. Think about the Sun Belt and these other conferences, man. Like what are they?
The nightmare on Free
This will be
Street.
tough.
Big Sarge in here said, and Alabama spends more than Auburn, even if you add the FBS median to Auburn's spending. Yeah. Now, and
Wow.
those that second chart number came from Knight Newhouse data. So Knight Newhouse data is what a lot of people is what is used by a lot of people to do research. And the reason why is because if you don't know, I'm getting my master's degree in sports management, and we talk about this in these classes all the time. We talk about spending and things like that. And my thesis is probably going to be somewhere on this. It's either going to be on this or something about media. But was looking at this and I thought this would be a great conversation for the show. So that's what it is.
It is. I love it.
Mike McKinney said, "Are we even sure that NIL will even be this big in 5 years? I think it's going to be out of this world. I'll tell you this. I think in 5 years, in 5 years, you'll probably have your first $20 million player in college football.
If they don't put a cap, on it, it's gonna be.
I think you have your first $20 million player in college football by 20, because you got to look at it from this perspective too. You got to look at how everything is setting up. You're starting to hear talks about the SEC deciding if they want to break away and be their own thing.
Yep.
You got to understand that these TV contracts end in 2031. 2031 is when these TV contracts are up. And so if they decide to break away and they decide to package this thing with all of the brands and all of the teams that can bring in eyeballs and revenue, that deal could rival. I'm not saying it will be as big as what the NFL does with NBC, Fox, and CBS, but it could be somewhere up there if that happens. It could be in that number. And if that happens, I think you potentially could see a $20 million player.
Might read my mind.
I mean, I think you will, but
Not a Saban don't got nothing to do with it.
Well, that's a good.
Saban's
That's a great point.
That dude, though.
You have a great point right there. You have a great point.
He said he wanted to get. He said he wanted to get revenue generating and revenue generating players play, and that ain't gonna happen because that's more money than you spend it now. You got to pay that sorry dude on the doggone golf team. He don't deserve it. He don't even deserve his books, let alone.
Whoa! They deserve their books. They deserve their books at Auburn, sir.
Here's why I disagree. Here's why I disagree with this statement, Big Sarge. Antitrust. That's what it is.
Well,
college football is technically a private company.
Right.
Definitely college football is the NFL, but just the teams are attached to Title I schools.
And that's why I say you got to uncouple them from these schools.
That's it.
So in terms
Title VI gonna get you. I don't care. SEC can separate, but if you taking the girls basketball team with you,
right. Yeah, it's a different
Birdman hands. Birdman hands. You know, you gotta pay them.
In the chess team and all those
Title VI and
we don't worry about.
That sorry golfer at the Alabama team, they got to pay him too. You know, so just take the football teams off campus, you'll be fine.
So, like, I in 5 years, listen, NIL, the toothpaste is out of the tube. It's gonna be tough to walk that back. The reason why I don't think it's gonna look like everybody thinks it's gonna look at NIL, you may get a $20 million player, but I think that player is going to look different from now because the way to nerf this is the transfer portal. Like I think that's the element that we're not really consider. Most people don't have a problem with players getting paid. I think we all agree that they should have been getting paid for the longest.
A long time ago.
However, you should not be able to play 1 year and then it be a bidding war for your services.
Yeah. But that's because the NCAA won't try to sit down and do a CBA.
Yeah, if the transfer portal gets fixed, then it'll fix a lot of the issues that we have a problem with. Like what we talking about? This bidding war and being able to spend and collect these deep rosters is made possible more because of the transfer portal rules than it is NIL. NIL is just players getting paid at the end of the day. If you take it back to a system where, hey, you come in, you got to spend 2 years, right? That whole charter look completely different because now what you'll be going after is players that are seniors, juniors on their way to the NFL, on the way to the NIL, I mean NFL. I said that first the right time, but on the way to the NFL, and it'll just be a different context of what we see now, man. So that is the piece I'm looking for. What are they going to do about the transfer portal itself? NIL, I don't think that's going anywhere. It's you can't walk that back now. Like you can't just go like, hey, I'm gonna take your money.
And the only way you can fix the transfer portal is a CBA, because nobody can come to your job and tell you can't take a better job, because that's what the Supreme Court say. Like, okay, you gonna be at your. I'm not sure if you have a job or not, but you just gonna be there no matter what. Nobody can tell you that, unless you're in the military and they sign a deal too.
I mean, college football has a bit of a way around it, because, like, even if you transfer as a student, there's no guarantee that next school is going to accept your credits. You know what I'm saying? You may have to start over as a freshman. So, like, they have ways around it.
I'll be multi-millionaire freshman.
I get where you're coming from, because if you look at CBS, you look at NBC. I think NBC is the only one that has a what's the name, which is Notre Dame, and of that nature. But majority of your college games are going to be on cable TV, and they don't have FCC. They don't have FCC licenses.
Right.
They don't. The only ones that have FCC licenses are
Big Four.
NBC, ABC, Fox, and CBS. Those are the only ones. Which you see college sports going to that right now anyway. They're moving towards the streaming thing. That's why you're looking at a lot of games being streamed on ESPN app, or you've seen a lot of games streamed on Fox One and things of that nature. Or Paramount. The
world is moving towards streaming.
Yeah. And even Netflix, Netflix is streaming. So there's no I get where you're coming from, but they are going to find ways around not being able.
That's why the SEC and YouTube had their disagreement.
Right.
So it is what it is. Fellas, this has been a great conversation, man. Go ahead, Tess.
No, I was just about to add that's why Peacock exists.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the what's the name? It's the what's the name of NBC. So,
yeah.
Great, man.
Streaming service. Yeah.
This has been a great conversation, man. Man, we can talk about this for 2 hours, but we not.
Yeah.
And I appreciate y'all so much for doing
6
that. And what you guys say before we get up out of here, man?
Elite.
Man. That's what we try to be, man. We try to be
Have elite day.
And I just want everybody to know that the first chart we put up about the SEC roster spending were estimates based on what we could find on the internet. Those were estimates. They could be bigger, they could be smaller.
Yeah, somebody said India spent 61 million.
61 million total. Yeah, that's what it was. So all of these numbers were estimates on what we could find.
Money well
50 million
spent.
50 million came from Mark Cuban himself.
Probably more than likely.
No,
put it in the right
I
place.
thought he just signed. I thought he just signed for this year. I don't think he went.
Who, Cuban?
Well, you right.
No.
He might have gave. He might have gave that.
He alumni. He gave money 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
It is. Tell us what you guys say to people when we get up out of here, man.
Oh man, I appreciate this conversation. I was excited about this one, man. You guys can find me at It's SEC Season on all platforms, man. Join me tomorrow as we dive into week 2. We get your opinions on who's going to win each and every single SEC game. We vote on it. And also Thursday on lunch breaks. Tentatively, I think what we're going to be doing on lunch breaks Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. is talking about spring practice. Versus what actually happens in the regular season. We're gonna relate that to work environment, the interview process. You ace the interview, and then you get on the job, and then you may not do it as well. So if you tune in to lunch breaks, you know how we do that. But if you haven't, please subscribe and tune into that one on 10:30. Don't spend your lunch break with that lady with the bad breath. Come over here with us. We'll get you through it.
Ty, what you guys say to people before we get up out of here, man?
First of all, where do y'all work at?
Bad breath is everywhere.
Check me out, man. Around the herd. We around the herd on Tuesdays. I go live tomorrow at what I do? 7 p.m. Eastern. That's 6 p.m. Central. Come check me out, man. Real closing in on 700 real quick. The 700 subscriber will receive a coupon for a Project Pickle. It would be the last one in the jar. So just check me out. Come on, make sure you subscribe. We have a good time over there, and I just started releasing a lot of film on a lot of people. It's gonna make a lot of y'all mad. Our new recruits, they're awesome. They're awesome. Just hope we can keep them on campus 2 years. Thank y'all for having me. I'll see y'all again.
Man, tight, man. Mark, you got to say to people, get up out of here, my guy.
You still gonna go 7-5.
When was the last year that happened? When was the last year that happened? You don't even. It's so long ago. You don't even remember when it happened. Keep dreaming.
All right, man. Well, hey, man, catch me Wednesday back here, man. And hey, check me out Thursday, man. I got a special guest coming in Thursday. Check me out. Special.
There it is. There it is, man. We appreciate it. Do me a favor, man, before we get up out of here, man. Y'all do your boy a solid. Do your boy a solid, man. Go subscribe to these YouTube channels, man. Subscribe to Addis SEC Season with our guy Tez, man. Subscribe to Tight Sports, Alabama Football Megacast, man. I got DC Wolf over at Auburn _Addict CV, man. DC. Also, go subscribe to our guy Dustin over at the Uptempo Podcast, man. I got B Sharp over at Sharpshooter Sports Talk, man. Vandy Chris over at the Go to Broom Podcast and the Anchor Down Live Podcast on Facebook. Also, man, subscribe to our guy at the Huggy Beard himself on YouTube and on Twitter. I got Kid Country, man. Subscribe to him on Facebook and, of course, the legend himself, Bubba and the Old Man, Auburn Sports Talk, man. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to him. JMHO Sports Talk with our guy Coach Sean, On the Block Sports with Coach Carl, and, of course, the College Loop with our guy Dylan. They call him Tank, man. Also, man, you want to feel like a star? Follow our guy. This is my quarterback, DJ. Follow him on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Hollywood_media. That's Hollywood_media. Hollywood with an EY. And then follow him on Facebook at Hollywood Media with 2 A's. Man, we appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us here, man. Mess with people that mess with Water Cooler Talk Sports. Also, man, Chef Country. Adelines by Chef Country. 2371 Highway 14 at Talkerville, Alabama, man, where we do it right, man. We will be there October 17, 2026 for the Auburn, Georgia game. We'll be going live. But if you don't want to wait until then, guess what? Just head on over there. Take the family over there for the day. Take a drive. Take a nice drive to Talkerville. Go over there. Get you some good food, man. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. I promise you, you won't, man. Make sure y'all do that. Also, man, follow us on our social medias at CoolestPod23 on Twitter, at the Water Cooler Talk on Instagram and TikTok, and of course the Water Cooler Talk podcast on Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't ask much. I don't ask much. But when I do ask, I would really like for you all to do me one favor. Just one favor. After you've done all of that, go over here and just take a look at the website, man. It's watercoolertalksports.com. That's what it is. You see the website there. Take a look at it. We've redesigned it a little bit, try to make it a little bit more appealing. You know, you have your top story over there. And then guess what? You go down to the next section. Guess what? You can watch the latest episode. So as soon as this episode is finished, guess what? It's going to be on the website. And then you get the schedule of the show. You get the times and everything. You get all of it. And then guess what? After that, you get down to the latest news and you get to read the latest news. You get to read what we've written. And we got some more stuff coming down the pipe. And then guess what? You get to watch the latest videos as well. You get to watch all of it. You get SECs in on there. You get Water Cooler Talk. You get Auburn Addicts. Go check out the interview that we did with Caleb Ballard. Rising prospect in the country, man. Go check it out. Go check out Lunch Breaks, Cakewalks. They talked about scheduling. Go check out SEC Heat Check, episode 2, where I got Marcus Fitzpatrick. Go check out Auburn Addicts, man. You can see, look, it's all on there, man. I feel like this is great. I feel like this is great, man. And guess what? If you click on this over here, you click on it, it'll take you to a video that we talked about the 2025 rankings for last season, the rankings show we did. And guess what? We got Hollywood Media. If you want to advertise with us, guess what? You can advertise with us because guess what? There's Hollywood Media right there. We got advertising on there, man. I'm telling you, man. Take a look at it, man. We just take a look at it. Read one. Just read. You know what? Let's read one together real quick. Let's go to SEC football news. What we want to look at here? You know what? Great. This is Tez's article that he wrote. You get in here, you can read Tez's article. You can read what Tez wrote. And guess what? In there is a video to one of Tez's videos on YouTube. You can press the button from there.
That's
You
fire.
can read it. Read the articles, ladies and gentlemen. We over here, we are elite. And then, of course, you know, we had to put the little picture in there, Brian Kelly on his last game at LSU. You know, we try to be elite. When we use the word elite around here, man, we are
really
elite. We really mean it. We don't try to half step stuff around this thing. And guess what? If you want to go back, you just press this little water cooler talk icon over there, and it brings you back to the homepage.
Nick,
I'm telling you. And guess what? If you're on the homepage and you want to go to YouTube, just press that button right there. You want to go to Instagram, press that button there. If you want to go to our Twitter page, press that button there. If you want to go to the Facebook page, press that button there. It'll take you there. I'm telling you, man, we do it well, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. We trying to be great over here. We trying to be elite, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man, for continuing to rock with us here around the water cooler. I'm gonna stop sharing this right now because my page is kind of pixelating a little bit. So we gonna
tell the people how much that costs, Nick, to visit watercoolertalksports.com.
Oh, it's free $99. That's what it is. It's free $99 around this thing.
It don't cost them nothing.
It doesn't
for all of
cost
that.
you nothing.
All of that.
Nothing at all, bro.
Wow.
Nothing at all for y'all to go there and just read
That's what I call a deal.
One article a day. Now that may change in the future. I'm just saying. Because we got some stuff.
Now.
We are expanding the website. And well, I'll tease this. Message board coming. That's all I say.
Oh,
message board coming to Water Cooler Talk Sports. It's coming. I'm
sounds
telling
explosive.
You. And the thing is, you know what? Y'all family. So I'm going to just go ahead and say it. We are eventually going to get rid of the memberships over here on YouTube. And we are going to transition to the website to where you can get everything you need on the website. That's the reason why I've teased it already. That's what it is. Message board coming for the season. I just told you. Now you have to pay for that.
I'll be in the message board.
You gotta pay to be a part of the message board, though. You gotta pay to be a part of the message board. But man, I'm telling you, bro, it is going to be lit. And guess what? I think we do great work, man. I think we try to be elite. From everybody that says they're elite, I think we are elite. Should I do it? Elite. Nah,
Calm down, my guy. Calm down.
Man. Let me stop.
You're going too far too fast.
Going too far too fast.
You do it 80 and a 50 right now, sir.
That was hilarious, bro. I was about to go there, bro.
No. Save it. I think it's gonna call later on. Save it for a second.
I thought next thing you know, you're gonna be like, no Merc.
No Merc.
No Merc. Shout out to Sam Guy, $4.99 super chat, man. We appreciate y'all so much, man. Phil Will in the chat. What's up, Phil Will, man? We appreciate you so much. Thank y'all so much, man, for rocking with us, man. Now we just be having fun over here, man. But for real though.
No jelly.
But for real, if y'all would, man, we put a lot of, it's a labor of love. That website is a labor of love to me because for one, there were some things that were said about Water Cooler Talk that I didn't appreciate. And so guess what? We are going to step on people's necks. But we gotta wait our time. You gotta be humble though. You still gotta be humble. But man, we appreciate y'all so much, man, as always, for rocking with us, man. And we thank y'all so much, as always, for continuing to rock with us, man. We about to get up out of here, man. We'll be back Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Back around the water cooler. As it always is, man. Y'all have a good one. Better yet, y'all have a great one. Y'all be blessed, man. Make sure you give the man upstairs above his, because he deserves all the praise and all of the glory, because he deserves it all, man. Yes, he does. And as King Richard right there said, man, hit the like button on your way out. Please do that for us, man. We appreciate y'all so much for that, man.
Do that.
As Martin wrote on the wall when he walked out of the apartment for the last time on the Martin show. Ladies and gentlemen, he wrote 2 words. He wrote these words. Those words were one love. Guess what? We out this mug, man. Y'all be easy. We'll see you Wednesday.
Sports.